So for me and Elijah's final project, we did 3D scanning, and at first we were trying to use this app called Microsoft Lab that you recommended, but then it didn't work. So instead we started using Regard 3D, and one of the problems we had with Regard 3D was that it was saying in this column that our sensor width was not available, and because of that, like we weren't even able like to use the app or upload our photos yet to get a image or scan or anything. So Elijah found a tutorial, and what we had to do was we had to go into our applications and go into the contents of Regard 3D, and after that we had to like manually edit the sensor width, and so we have to show contents, go into contents, resources, and then open this um, with text edit. Here's me messing up. Yeah. So once you open it with text edit, then we can go through the contents of it. And this is just basically like the columns that are listed. And here is where we have to fill in our like information for our phone. We have to use iPhone 11, and then we have to do the sensor width of the iPhone 11. At first, our tutorial was telling us to use like 6 and 16, but that was for an iPad 6, and so we had to do some calculations to find out the sensor width of the iPhone 11. That was 515, I believe, and when we did this, me and Elijah were not thinking it was gonna work at all. We were just like taking some shots in the dark because we've been working on this for like 2 hours at this point, and we didn't even get a single like scan at all or anything. And so yeah, so after that we finally got the work, and yeah, let me pause this. And yeah, so we finally got it to work, and that brought us here. And this is just me showing you, well, trying to show you the triangulation of our first attempt. This was just like, I think this was 15 pictures. And this is what our example got. You can't really see much here, but you can see like the body of the bulldog on this side. And then our second attempt was with an additional 15 pictures. And each time it was supposed to get progressively better and progressively faster, but it low-key was not doing that. um, and then I'll show you soon, but our final, yeah, so here's our second one, which is better. It's weird how it zoomed in. I don't know how it did that, but yeah, you can definitely see the bulldog a little bit better, but still there's so much open space and really not any detail. And that was with 30 pictures. And then here is our third one with, I think it was like 46, and it somehow got worse, which I don't know how that happened at all. But yeah, that's what we did for Regard 3D. We were pretty sad considering how much time we put into like trying to figure out this app and like get it to work and download it and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Regard 3D.
So the successful mesh scanning that we did came from Polycam 3D. Shout out to Tim and Renzi for putting us on this app. At first, we took 75 pictures with this app using auto capture, setting the detail to medium, and using photogrammetry as the processing mode. This took about 5 minutes to do, just capturing 75 photos around the dog, making sure we had full detail in each photo. Then next, it processed the image and gave us this mesh on the side right here. which you can use and export to a GLTF file, which can be used in Blender. This is the mess right here. In the app, you can kind of twist it around and look at it in 3D, but this is just a quick screenshot of it right here. So after you get this, after it's processed, you're able to export it to any file that you want, and use it inside of Blender or whatever rendering machine that you're using. So we're gonna go back into Blender here, if I can find it. And going into Blender, we can make our own file. And after we make our own file, we can import this mesh into Blender. And as you can see, we can use it in any kind of scene or rendering scene that we want to use it for. One weird thing about it is that it doesn't have this texture that it had in the mesh scanning in Polycam. I thought it would transfer over, but using it in Blender, you'd have to just texture it on your own and do any kind of shaders that you want on it.
But yeah, that is our final project of 3D scanning. I'm glad that Elijah was able to find a different way to scan, because what we had just from Regard 3D was kind of disappointing. But yeah, it was a little bit of a grind to get Regard 3D to work, but after we got Polycam to scan the Bulldog, and just made it look a lot nicer, and was pretty satisfying. That's it. Thanks.